Shalom, and welcome back to the No Channel. This is Bernadette Johnson. Some know me as Keziah or Kizzy. Today I'm coming to you with another book commentary, and this time I will be discussing the book Black Labor and White Wealth by Dr. Anderson. I read this book some years ago, but I found it to be a very compelling read. It explores Dr. Anderson in this book. He explores the history of how the labor of blacks in the U.S. have been the major backbone of the U.S. economy. And this, we know this all too well. But blacks haven't reaped the benefits of their labor. From their first being brought here in 1619, some say we were here before then, up until the present day, we haven't reaped the benefits. Our labor was a backbone of this economy, but yet we still have to reap the benefits of that. And despite all the rights and freedoms that blacks have gained over the decades, whites still pretty much own the same percentage of wealth in this economy as they had during slavery. Now digest that. So Dr. Anderson, he goes on to state that blacks have failed to make significant economic gains made by other minorities and immigrants such as Jews and other Europeans, Chinese, Hispanics, etc. Because you see how these immigrants can come here and start businesses and just prosper. And he also states that the reason black progress lags behind the others is due to discriminatory practices put in place in order to keep blacks from progressing. Although other minorities did experience discrimination, it was not to the same degree as blacks experienced it. He argues that the movements that were once dedicated to the rights of blacks have been compromised by a new set of minorities, which include women and Hispanics. So yeah, of course, Hispanics, they're a minority too, and also women is included in the as minorities as well. And just speaking of that, I just want to throw in this, like with affirmative action, which we know, that was discontinued in some settings. But speaking of affirmative action, it is said that white women benefit more from affirmative action than anybody. So I just wanted to throw that in. So let's continue. And so although this book was written, it was written in 1994, Dr. Anderson, he accurately predicts the political, economical, and racial turmoil that blacks will face in the decades to come due to major shifts in immigration and the political world. So he was on the mark. Even though this book was written decades ago, but yet he was still on the mark in his predictions. He goes on to say that even though blacks dominate the music and sports world as far as entertainers go, they control little to none of the financial components within these multi-billion-dollar industries. Of course, we dominate as far as like the performers. Sports, of course, we dominate in that as far as the players. But as far as controlling the money, we have very little control. He who controls the money, that's who really has the power. So he encourages blacks to take control of their own economic destiny by investing in their own communities and seek investment in music and sports industries where they are owners and not just paid entertainers. And many of these entertainers often end up broke when their career is over. As you see a lot of these athletes, when their career is over, they end up broke. And you see that. So that's why, he encouraged black people to, buy some of these sports teams, as far as like the music, own some of these record labels. Yeah, for instance, that remind me of like how Motown, Berry Gordy, how he built a fortune by having his own label. So, you can find this book, Black Labor, White Wealth, on Amazon. And you can also find it on Dr. Claud Anderson's website, Powernomics. You can buy it from his website. It's pretty much the same as it costs on Amazon. Or if you don't want to buy it, you can check with your local library and see if it's available there. And if the library doesn't have it, you can see if they can borrow it from another library. So I would encourage you to check out this book if you haven't already and read it, because it has some very insightful things in it. So that's my commentary on the book, Black Labor, White Wealth. And thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, be blessed.